wonderful chess aficionados. Thanks for watching. As promised, this will be the second part of the review and debrief between Pragg and Magnus Carlsen at the FIDE World Cup 2023 held in August of obviously 2023. What a game. Let's get to it. Let's review it. See how it went down. So it is the Italian game Gioco Pianissimo. Yes. And so we start with e4, e5, knight to f3. Again, I want you to focus on the black knights and see how they were a critical component of the structure and the plan for black, which is Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen's black, Pragg white. Knight to c6. So far so good. Development c4. Knight to f6. So we got the two knights out. We're already like putting a wedge here, like a little wedgie. No, we have a wedgie. But Carlsen's whatever. And then we continue with d3. Bishop to c5. Kind of wedging there too. Look, he's wedging against. But it seems to bother Pragg because guess what he does? He goes to a4 first. And then Magnus continues development, committing his bishop there. Not too many places to run if necessary. Okay, now we have a castling by white. Okay, we're stopping the advance of the a pawn by this move. And look at this. So finally, Pragg is like, I don't like that bishop there staring at my weakest pawn. Even though he just did the same to Magnus. Magnus is not too concerned. Look how much open he is. He doesn't seem to be too concerned. But Pragg, maybe you have your weaknesses. And so he's using that weakness against psychological weakness. He's using it against him. And so he didn't like the fact that this bishop is staring down this weak pawn. So he brings out his bishop, which leaves Magnus no choice but to exchange. So now we have a new position. And then we continue with castling there. Fine. This is when he committed to castle. Black did. We bring out the knights towards the middle. A retreat of the black knight. Always when Magnus retreats, you gotta think he's thinking about something. Why did he make that move? Maybe if he's gonna want to move out his queen, the queen is gonna have to have space to go somewhere. So he's moving out the knight. Now remember, knight on the rim is dim, but he's probably thinking, oh my gosh, he's gonna maybe move out some of these knights or maybe these pawns to start attacking on the king side. So maybe that's why Pragg made this move. Undeterred, he continues in the middle. Because what is he preparing? Usually when you have them side by side, they gotta be side by side before you move one of these pawns out. So you're developing, but at the same time still protecting. Because at any time, one of these pawns can move if necessary. And this pawn is protecting by this knight. Right, he moves out with the queen. Just in case things disintegrate in the middle. But this seems pretty close position to me. But maybe things will disintegrate in the middle pretty soon to try to have the queen right there. All right, now we're definitely forcing this move, forcing a decision for Pragg. What's he gonna do? He's got to do something. Magnus wants to open the position, but guess who's in control? The tango is again, a control is in Black's hands. Look how interestingly you can feel the momentum is with Black, not with White. Who made this move? Who made this aggressive move? Okay, so he decides to move back with the bishop. All right, now the queen moves out. Very calculated move. Could be protecting this knight too, and protecting this whole area, the center area. Okay, the queen moves out, and so does the knight. Interesting. Two knights on the knights on the rim are dim, but these are the highest level players in the world. Are they listening to these rules? So break those rules and do what you want because that is your game, and make sure that you try things. Don't limit yourself to certain rules. They're certainly not limiting themselves. Their knights are dim on the rim, probably, right? But not in their minds. They did this for a reason, and the highest rated players in the world here. Okay, let's continue. All right, we are moving in. Okay, Magnus puts out a defense here, like a fence of a defense. Or is that an attack on a queen? Would you say that's an attack on a queen? No more. It's gone. So it seems the Pragg random is too eager to attack. Very eager to attack, and he crossed the middle line first. Meaning he's very, hungry for an attack. Yet look at what Magnus does. Just wondering what this king move meant. Is that a loss in tempo here for the white? All right, look at this. This is becoming very tense here, very tense. All the tension is in this area by the king. Nothing else is being moved. Look how quickly Magnus neutralizes all of this. He gives up the queens. Everything is neutralized. And now you can breathe. Now we're going into the end game. But look at that, how he did not allow any more maneuvering by white. He chose to neutralize the queens. Okay, we still got this pawn going. He takes with the h pawn, opening up the h file. And look at this. If these two rooks line up, we've got things going, and these knights are going to go in for the kill in the future. He opened up this h file on purpose. All right, we continue fighting for the center. We take. We got more open. We've got open files and semi-open files here. Wow, look at that. We are trying to go on the D file. Is that knight protected? Now it is. All right, are those pawns protected? This is the end game genius of Magnus Carlsen. You let him come to the end game like this with neutralizing a position, you basically have almost no chance because he can see things other people cannot see. Each move is precise, like a surgeon, scalper. You have to be extremely precise. Why did he make this move? Well, look at this. He is attacking both pawns, and they are protected by a bishop and a knight. If the bishop or the knight move in trying to do a counterattack, guess what? He gets one of the pawns. Yes, this is the genius of Magnus. He gets into such an idea, he can see things so plainly that he is going after the pawns, attacking the pawns that are being protected, and one of these is, you paralyze your pieces. So what is Pragg gonna do now? He moves the rook to do a battery, thinking it's a good idea. Usually a battery is good. Let's see how it will turn out for Pragg once he puts this battery together. So there's in the more maneuvering with the knights. Do you see how he has absolutely overtaken this game by the knights, the black knights? Okay, we're attacking the rook. The rook moves out of the way. Now the battery's gone. we're now protecting the white pawn. Okay, so now we're going for the center here, removing the bishop and going for that pawn. It seems this white pawn on e4 wants to be severely protected here. Look at how many protectors. The knight, the bishop, and the rook. Like he wants to control and keep hold of the center. How will Magnus disarm? It's like knowing how to disarm your opponent without causing damage to yourself. It's like being a taekwondo expert and doing what you need to do without so much as a cut on your own self. All right, so he moves out with the knight again, in this sense protecting this square and this pawn. All right, we move. He moves with the knight. So now he centers on protecting this pawn because that's where this knight wants to go after this pawn. And now he's moving ahead with the g pawn very aggressively to g4. Magnus is restrained. He's restrained. He just moves it over so that one more move and just prepares. Because this instance, this knight is protecting. So do you see how he wanted to, several moves before, he knew he might need this knight to protect these two squares. And that's exactly what's happened now. And Pragg is just all over the place. Here, there, batteries taking over. Like he doesn't know which way to go almost. Which way to attack, which way to go. There's so many things he wants not to protect. He's trying to protect the pawns. When you distribute yourself too thin, something will break. Okay, the knight is attacking this pawn. So the pawn moves in, and Magnus just takes. There's some exchange here. So again, what a beautiful symphony of the knights. Really, a masterful game that shows the power of the knights when Magnus decides to have that. And notice he's keeping his black king on a black square because this bishop cannot harm him at all. Okay, powerless. As long as the black king is kept on a black square. All right, so now we backtrack. Movement of rooks here. Now notice, this move is quite important. Very important. This is critical. This is really, I would say, like in Spanish, torcidos. Torcido, like you twist somebody's arm, like a twist, and you grab the other person, they twist you, and see who can stand more pain. We take, and he takes with the knight. Notice the Symphony of Knights. This should be called the Symphony of Knights. So we keep moving. Okay, we keep moving from one side of the board to the other. So distracting, we cannot do anything here. So we're going to go to the other side. And this pawn is taking, because it was getting very close to be promoted. Although the bishop was still protecting that white square. All right, Magnus moves out with his king, active king. Pragg also moves with his king. And now he takes time to reposition his king. Notice in this case, he knows if the future there's any attack, he's protecting both of these knights. All right. He's trying to do some sort of pass pawn situation here. No matter. He is now moving out and is attacking this pawn and this file. He's going around the back door. He decided we're gonna go towards the back door. All right. Because he could have a pass pawn if this knight moves away, because if this pawn goes up, we can take a new and somehow get rid of this pawn. But anyways, that's for later. He decides he's now going to target the h file, because if this king decides to move, we're gonna eat. And this knight decides to move, this rook decides to move, he's able to get like a potential threat. Look at this knight. Wow. Do you see the plan go behind? He's now ready to go behind, and guess where he's gonna go behind with that rook? You see? And here what I was talking about. Now he wants to move up, but nanai. Magnus neutralizes this threat too. And it's in a position where the knight can't get to it. It's still safe. So now Pragg goes after this unprotected pawn. Well, he says, oh yeah, well, I'm not just going to sweep up that bishop if he goes there. I'm going to first sweep your knight. So he moves out of the way. All right, now he continues with his knights. And the knights and this free rook. It was freed. Do you see how it went to attack here? And then it moved over and moved behind. Critical part of the game. And then execution. What execution with these knights? This is a master. You're seeing a world champion at his best. Even though this Pragg is really young and just starting out, you can see the power of experience and just talent. Okay, we have a check. He moves out. Again, threatening this bishop. So now a check. Pragg gives a check. Oh, that's okay. I'll just move out of the way. And at this point, this is where Pragg resigned, because it's minus 5.4 in favor of Magnus Carlsen. He's with these two knights and this rook. He's very close to checkmate. So complete it. Put this on the board and complete it. How would you make a checkmate with black? You're 5 and 4.4 ahead. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, Magnus Carlsen. You have won now the World FIDE Cup. I think that escaped him for years, and he has finally clinched this title too. He has swept things up. Amazing stuff for the viewers. Au revoir.